Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting into something I know a lot of us care deeply about: how to maximize the lifespan, the health span, and, well, the sheer happiness of our indoor cats. Our mission here is to pull out the really essential evidence-backed advice from some pretty impressive sources. We're talking veterinary research from places like UC Davis, the Cornell Feline Health Center, top animal health organizations. The goal really is to give you clear, actionable stuff to help your cat live a long, healthy, and genuinely happy life indoors. And honestly, going through this, some things really jumped out at me. Like, did you know one common procedure can potentially more than double a cat's median lifespan? Or that you can actually cut stress hormones almost in half just by tweaking your environment. It's pretty amazing.
It really is fascinating, isn't it? And while, yeah, genetics definitely play a role, the overwhelming message from all this research is that the environment and the care you provide are just paramount. So we're going to focus right in on the factors you can actually control, the things that can profoundly impact your cat's well-being and how long you get to enjoy their company.
Okay, so let's start right there. Foundational stuff.
Yeah.
When we talk feel,
It's a really important connection. So spaying or neutering can slightly slow down a cat's metabolism. It just means they might be a little more prone to gaining weight if you don't adjust their food intake. And keeping them at a lean, healthy weight, it's absolutely vital for longevity. All the clinical data shows it. Leaner cats just live longer and have fewer health issues.
right.
On the flip side, obesity is a major problem. It really predisposes cats to serious stuff like diabetes, arthritis, heart disease.
Things that definitely shorten their lives.
Absolutely. There was a big UK study confirming that obesity demonstrably shortens lifespan in cats. So the advice is, after the procedure, talk to your vet. Nail down the right portion sizes. And definitely keep encouraging play and exercise. And, importantly, if a cat is already overweight, weight loss needs to be gradual and vet supervised. You definitely don't want a crash diet cat. That can cause a really dangerous liver condition, fatty liver disease.
Okay, so gradual is key there. So we've got spay neuter, weight management. What about the genetics factor? If someone has a purebred cat, are they kind of starting at a disadvantage?
Well, genetics certainly are a piece of the puzzle. It's true that some breeds have known predispositions, like Persians can be prone to polycystic kidney disease, Maine Coons sometimes have issues with hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, that's a heart muscle thickening. And some studies, like that UK one again, suggest that mixed breed cats, your domestic short hairs and long hairs, tend to live longer on average than some purebreds. Probably because of greater genetic diversity, less inbreeding. You see extremes too. Like the Sphinx breed, because of really intensive breeding, has a shorter average lifespan, maybe only 6 or 7 years. Whereas others, like the Burmese, often average well into their mid-teens.
Interesting variation.
Yeah, but the bottom line here really is that you can't change the genes your cat has. What you can do is optimize everything else. Focus on those common denominators for a long life, keeping them sterilized, lean, active, making sure they're mentally stimulated, and getting that regular vet care. That's where you make the biggest difference.
Okay, that makes sense. Focus on what you can control. Let's shift from those big picture decisions to the daily grind, the day in, day out stuff. Nutrition and hydration feels like the absolute bedrock, right?
Totally fundamental. You have to remember cats are obligate carnivores. That means their bodies are designed for a diet high in animal protein, moderate fat, and really low carbs. So when you're choosing food, look for a high-quality commercial diet and make sure it's labeled complete and balanced for your cat's life stage kitten, adult, senior.
Right, the AAFCO statement.
Exactly. And usually supplements aren't necessary unless your vet specifically recommends one for a health issue. And feeding routines, consistency is really good for them. Think about wild cats. They hunt and eat multiple small meals a day. So dividing their daily food into a few smaller portions can actually mimic that natural pattern.
Rather than just leaving a huge bowl out.
Right. Avoid that free feeding of large amounts of dry food especially. It just makes it too easy for them to overeat. Measure the portions based on vet advice or the packaging, and keep an eye on their weight and body condition. You should be able to easily feel their ribs under a thin layer of fat, but not see the spine sticking out. Keeping them from getting overweight is probably the biggest nutritional challenge we see.
Yeah, I can imagine. And hydration, you hear that a lot, especially for indoor cats. Why is it so critical, and are there tricks to get them to drink more?
Oh, hydration is huge. One of the best ways to help is actually feeding wet or canned food. because it's naturally about 75–80% water.
Ah, built-in hydration.
Exactly. Indoor cats, especially those eating only dry food, can sometimes exist in the state of low-level dehydration, and over years that really puts stress on their kidneys. Generally, a cat needs about 4 ounces of water for every 5 pounds of body weight per day. So for a typical 10-pound cat, that's about a cup of water. Make sure they always have clean, fresh water, maybe in multiple spots around the house.
And I've heard fountains can help.
Yes. Pet water fountains are fantastic. Many cats seem genetically programmed to prefer moving water. It probably signals freshness and safety to them. So a fountain can really encourage drinking, which is great for their kidneys, urinary tract, everything. Watch for signs of dehydration too, being lethargic. If you gently pinch their skin, it doesn't snap back quickly, dry gums. Those are warning signs.
Good tips. What about treats and, crucially, toxic foods?
Right. Treats are fine, but sparingly. Choose healthy ones. And like food, introduce any new treats gradually. But the toxic foods part is non-negotiable. You absolutely must keep things like onions, garlic, chocolate, grapes, and raisins away from them. And anything with the sweetener xylitol, it's incredibly dangerous for pets. These can cause serious poisoning, even in tiny amounts.
Okay, noted. Super important list there. Now,
Yeah.
the dreaded vet visit. For a cat that lives entirely indoors, never sees another animal, how important is that annual checkup, really? Getting them in the carrier can be such an ordeal.
It's so important. I know it can be stressful, but routine vet care is absolutely essential, even for strictly indoor cats. Think of it as preventative maintenance for a long, healthy life. They need an exam at least once a year. Ideally, twice a year once they hit those senior years, maybe age 7 or 8 onwards.
Twice a year for seniors.
Yeah, because they age so much faster than we do. That yearly cat exam, it's like us going to the doctor only every 4 or 5 years. A lot can change in that time. These visits let the vet do a thorough physical exam, listen to the heart, check the teeth, feel for any lumps or bumps, assess their weight, things you might easily miss at home. Plus, the vet will ask about subtle changes in behavior, appetite, litter box habits. Often the first clues that something isn't right. Cats are masters at hiding illness.
That's true, they really are.
Okay.
So the checkup itself is vital. But what about vaccines and parasite prevention for these indoor couch potatoes? Do they really need them?
Yes, they really, really do. Core vaccines are crucial. We're talking rabies, often legally required anyway. And think about it, a bat could fly into your house.
Good point. Never thought of that.
Yeah. And the FVRCP combo vaccine. That protects against some really nasty, highly contagious viruses like panleukopenia, feline distemper, and upper respiratory viruses like herpes and calicivirus. These things can spread indirectly. And for kittens or cats that might have some exposure risk, maybe through a screened porch or if another pet goes out, the feline leukemia vaccine, FLV, might be recommended too.
Okay. And parasites, fleas, worms?
Definitely. Flea eggs can easily hitchhike inside on your clothes, your shoes, even on other pets. And mosquitoes get inside all the time, right? They transmit heartworm, which cats can get, although it's different than in dogs. So yeah, most vets recommend year-round or at least seasonal preventatives, depending on your area. And doing at least an annual fecal exam to check for intestinal worms is a good idea, too. You just can't assume being indoors makes them immune.
Right, better safe than sorry. Okay, you mentioned dental health earlier, and it seems like vets are always talking about it. I admit the idea of brushing my cat's teeth seems ambitious. Why is it stressed so much, and are there realistic ways to manage it?
It's stress because it has such a profound impact on their overall health. There's good evidence showing cats with clean teeth actually live longer.
Really? Longer lives?
Yeah, because that tartar buildup and gum disease is full of bacteria. And those bacteria can get into the bloodstream, it's called bacteremia, and travel to vital organs, causing inflammation and damage to the heart, kidneys, liver over time. It's a chronic source of infection. Ideally, yes, brushing daily or a few times a week with cat-specific toothpaste is the gold standard.
Okay, the ideal world.
Right. But let's be realistic. Start slow. Get them used to you handling their mouth. Let them lick the toothpaste. They make tasty flavors. Use a finger brush first, maybe. Keep it short, positive, lots of praise, or a treat afterwards. If daily brushing just isn't happening, there are other tools. Special dental diets, chews, water additives that can help reduce tartar. But they don't replace the need for professional cleanings.
The ones under anesthesia.
Exactly. Those cleanings, maybe every 1 or 2 years based on your cat's needs and your vet's advice, are really important for getting below the gum line where the real problems start. And always watch for signs of mouth pain, drooling, dropping food, bad breath, shying away from touch near their face. And this ties into early disease detection overall. Doing routine blood work and urine tests, especially as they get older, say annually or even semi-annually for seniors, is incredibly valuable.
What can those tests pick up?
Oh, things like early kidney disease, hyperthyroidism, diabetes, often long before the cat shows any obvious signs of being sick. Remember that hiding illness thing? These diagnostics let us peek under the hood and catch problems when they're much easier to manage, which definitely contributes to a longer, healthier life.
Got it. It's all about being proactive.
Hmm.
So, okay, we've covered the physical foundations really well, the vet care, nutrition, weight. But cats aren't just bodies, right? They have minds, emotions. What about enriching their indoor kingdom to keep them happy and mentally healthy?
Absolutely crucial. An enriching environment isn't just a nice to have for an indoor cat. It's a necessity for their mental and physical health. Think about their natural instincts.
Yeah.
They need to scratch, climb, hunt, explore, stalk.
Right, things they do outside.
Exactly. If they don't have outlets for those behaviors indoors, they get bored, stressed, and that can lead to all sorts of problems, destructive behaviors, anxiety, even things like over-grooming or stress-related cystitis.
And I remember reading this is fascinating that enrichment can actually lower their stress hormones, like
Yeah.
a measurable physical effect.
That's right. Studies have shown cats in stimulating, enriched environments have significantly lower cortisol levels. Those are the stress hormones. We're talking almost half the levels compared to cats in barren environments.
Right.
So lower stress means a happier cat, definitely, but likely a healthier one too, with fewer stress-triggered illnesses. So what does good enrichment look like? Well, scratching posts are a must. Sturdy ones, tall enough for a full stretch, maybe wrapped in sisal rope. Put them in prominent spots near where they sleep or hang out. It meets that need to scratch, conditions their claws, marks territory, stretches muscle.
As aids the furniture.
Hopefully. And climbing cats love vertical space. It makes them feel safe and gives them a viewpoint. So cat trees, condos, even simple wall shelves or perches near windows are fantastic. Especially in multi-cat homes, having multiple high spots and hiding places helps them navigate social dynamics and avoid conflict. Everyone needs their own safe spot.
Makes sense. What about play?
Play is non-negotiable. You need regular interactive play sessions. Aim for at least 2 sessions a day, maybe 10-15 minutes each. Use toys that mimic prey feather wands or classic toy mice.
The laser pointer.
Yeah.
Always a debate there.
Ugh, the laser pointer. It can be great for exercise, but the key is always end the session by letting them catch something tangible. Switch to a wand toy or toss a physical toy or treat. Otherwise, that constant chasing with no reward can be really frustrating for them.
Good tip. Never let them just end on the dot.
Exactly. And never, ever use your hands or feet as toys. That just teaches them to bite and scratch people. Rotate the toys you leave out, too, keeps things novel. Puzzle feeders are brilliant for mental stimulation, makes them work for their food a bit, like hunting.
Cat TV.
Oh, yeah. A bird feeder outside a window provides endless entertainment. Or even cat-specific videos of birds or squirrels. You can also add variety with safe plants, like catgrass, wheatgrass, usually. But, and this is critical, know your toxic plants. Lilies are absolutely deadly, even a little pollen. Tulips, poinsettias, azaleas, many others can make them very sick. You have to be vigilant.
That lily warning is so important. Okay, so we've set up the physical space. What about their social and mental needs from us and maybe other pets?
The human interaction piece is huge. Daily positive interaction is key. Petting, gentle grooming, talking to them, and of course that interactive playtime we just discussed. But let the cat lead, Pay attention to their body language. If they're purring, rubbing, slow blinking, they're happy. If the tail starts lashing, ears go back, they're saying, okay, I've had enough for now. Respect their boundaries.
And training. Can you actually train a cat?
Absolutely. Many cats really enjoy the mental challenge. Using positive reinforcement clicker training is great for this. With tasty treats, you can teach them tricks or useful things like coming when called or tolerating the carrier.
Carrier training would be useful.
Wouldn't it? Puzzle toys, as I mentioned, are also a form of mental exercise. And some confident cats can even learn to walk on a harness and leash for safe outdoor time or ride in a stroller. It just takes patience and lots of rewards. Never punishment. That just creates fear.
What about other pets? Multi-cat or cat-dog households?
Introductions need to be slow, gradual, and carefully managed. Start with scent-swapping bedding, toys before they even see each other, then brief visual contact through a screen or baby gate. Remember, cats aren't naturally pack animals like dogs. They might learn to tolerate each other or even become friends, but often they just learn to share space by avoiding conflict. So, providing separate resources is key: food bowls, water bowls, litter boxes, beds, high perches, enough for everyone.
The one per cat plus one extra rule for litter boxes, right?
That's the general guideline, yes. And watch closely for subtle signs of stress between them, like one cat always hiding or being blocked from resources. If you're considering adding a second cat, really think about your current cat's personality. Is companionship something they likely enjoy? With dogs, supervision is crucial, especially initially. Always make sure the cat has escape routes, high places the dog can't reach.
A routine. How important is that?
Hugely important. Cats thrive on predictability. A stable routine for feeding, playtime, even your own coming and going helps them feel secure. Big changes in the household, new furniture, renovations, lots of visitors can be stressful for some cats. When change is unavoidable, try to provide extra reassurance, keep other parts of their routine normal, maybe use one of those feline pheromone diffusers like Feliway, and always make sure they have a quiet, safe retreat where they can hide away if things get overwhelming.
Okay, that's a great overview of enrichment and social needs. So pulling this together, how do we make the home itself truly safe for these curious creatures beyond the enrichment items?
Yeah, you really have to think like a cat sometimes. Cat proofing is a lot like baby proofing. We mentioned toxic plants already, reiterate. Lilies are deadly serious. Keep them completely out of the house. Secure all household cleaners, chemicals, medications.
Human medications too, right?
Absolutely critical. Never leave pills out where a cat could bat them around or ingest them. Common human pain relievers like Tylenol, acetaminophen, or Advil ibuprofen are extremely toxic, potentially fatal to cats. And keep dangerous human foods, secured onions, garlic, chocolate, alcohol, anything with xylitol. Then there are the physical hazards: string, yarn, thread, hair ties, rubber bands, tinsel. If swallowed, these linear foreign bodies can cause catastrophic intestinal damage. Really dangerous. Keep them tucked away.
And windows. I've heard about high-rise syndrome.
Yes, it's a real and tragic danger. Unscreened or poorly secured windows are incredibly hazardous. Cats can slip through surprisingly small gaps or push out loose screens. Make sure all screens are sturdy and fit snugly.
Even from just one or two stories up.
Oh yeah, a fall from even the first or second floor can cause serious injuries, broken bones, internal damage. For balconies, secure screening or dedicated catios are the only safe options. And finally, going back to stress, try to maintain a calm atmosphere as much as possible. Loud noises, lots of chaos, constant disruptions can cause chronic stress, which impacts their health. Provide that quiet retreat space. Teach kids how to interact gently. Maintain routines. Introduce changes slowly. It all contributes to a feeling of safety and well-being. Providing this enriched, safe, soothing home, it's not a luxury. It's fundamental to their happiness, and it directly impacts their physical health. Remember, a bored cat often becomes a stressed cat, and a stressed cat can become a sick cat.
That's a powerful connection. Okay, this leads us into a tougher but really essential part of sharing our lives with cats, navigating their senior years and eventually end-of-life care. How do we support them compassionately as they age?
It's definitely something we need to prepare for. As cats get older, chronic conditions often develop. Things like kidney disease, arthritis, hyperthyroidism, sometimes cancer. That's why those twice-yearly vet checkups for seniors are so important for managing these conditions. Pain management becomes absolutely key. Cats are incredibly stoic. They hide pain brilliantly. Subtle signs might be all you see. Maybe they stop grooming as well, hide more, hesitate before jumping onto the couch.
Things you might dismiss easily.
Exactly. Arthritis is extremely common in older cats, but we have good options now. Joint supplements, pain medications specifically for cats, sometimes even things like acupuncture can help. Don't assume slowing down is just old age. It could be pain. And you'll likely need to make home adjustments. Soft, warm beds in easily accessible spots, maybe on the floor. If mobility is an issue, keep food, water, and litter boxes all on one level. Ramps or pet stairs can help them reach favorite spots. Use low-sided litter boxes.
Easier to get in and out of.
Right. Check them for sores if they're not moving much. Help them with grooming if they can't manage it themselves anymore. And be patient if accidents happen. Use waterproof pads to protect furniture. It's about maintaining their comfort and dignity.
It's heartening to know there's so much we can do. And the concepts of palliative and hospice care are becoming more common for pets now, too. What does this actually mean for a cat?
Palliative care basically means shifting the focus from trying to cure an illness to maximizing quality of life. When a cat has a terminal illness or is very frail, We focus on comfort. That might involve really effective pain relief, medications to stimulate appetite, special diets that are easy to eat, maybe even giving subcutaneous fluids at home to help with hydration if they have kidney disease. It's all about supporting them and keeping them comfortable for as long as possible.
And hospice care.
Hospice care is usually considered for the very final stage, days or weeks. It's intensely focused on ensuring a peaceful, comfortable, dignified end-of-life experience. Your vet is your partner in this, guiding you on how best to provide that comfort care at home. Throughout the stage, you're constantly assessing their quality of life. Are they still finding enjoyment in things? Food, interactions, sunbeams. Are they comfortable most of the time? Or is their pain or distress becoming unmanageable?
That leads to the hardest question. Deciding on euthanasia. It's such a heavy decision.
Yeah.
How do you approach that with compassion, feeling confident it's the right thing?
It is often the most difficult yet kindest decision we make for a beloved pet. When a cat's suffering is significant and there's no realistic hope for improvement, humane euthanasia prevents further pain and distress. The process itself is designed to be peaceful and painless. Usually they're given a sedative first, so they're relaxed and unaware, and then an overdose of an anesthetic medication is given, which quickly and gently stops the heart. They don't feel any pain or fear.
I've heard the phrase, better a day too early than a day too late.
Many vets and owners feel that way. It means choosing to let them go peacefully before the suffering becomes overwhelming, rather than waiting until the very last possible moment when things might be quite bad. It's about prioritizing their experience over our own difficulty in letting go. Talk openly with your vet. They can give you an objective medical perspective. Sometimes diagnostics help clarify how much is really going on internally. Keeping that quality of life journal tracking good moments versus bad moments can help you see the trend.
That seems like a useful tool.
It can be. Focus on their perspective. Are they still experiencing joy? Or is life mostly about enduring discomfort? And remember, in-home euthanasia is an option many people find comforting, allowing the cat to pass in their familiar, safe space. In those final days or hours, just surround them with comfort, their favorite blankets, quiet space, soft words. Offer favorite foods if they're interested, and it won't cause harm. Keep them clean. Let them guide the interaction. Some want closeness, others prefer quiet solitude. Just be present for them. And please, remember to take care of yourself too. It's an incredibly emotional and draining time. Lean on friends, family, or look into pet loss support groups or hotlines. Grieving is normal and necessary. So you see, it all connects. By taking this proactive, really holistic approach, thinking about everything from their food and vet care to their environment, their mental needs, managing their weight, giving them love and attention, you really can significantly maximize not just how long your indoor cat lives, but how well they live. We see so many indoor cats now living well into their teens, even hitting 15, 20 years old, still happy and relatively healthy because they're protected from outdoor dangers and receive this kind of attentive care. They truly become lifelong family members.
Absolutely. And the reward for you, the owner, it's that contented purr, knowing your companion is healthy and having that peace of mind that comes from doing everything you reasonably can to help them thrive. So as we wrap up this deep dive, maybe think about this. What's one small evidence-based change you could make starting today to boost your cat's health span or happiness, knowing that every purr, every playful pounce, it all adds up to a long, full, happy life together. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive.